There's a strange kind of person who can't sit still when something is broken, even if it's not theirs to fix. And if you're honest, you don't just notice problems, you feel responsible for them. You're the one who smooths tension in conversations that weren't yours to carry, the one who offers solutions before anyone even asks, the one who stays a little longer, explains a little more, gives a little extra, just to make sure everything holds together. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called hyper-responsibility, and it doesn't come from nowhere. In 2013, developmental psychologists studying what they call parentified children found that kids who had to emotionally or practically support others too early developed an internal rule: if something goes wrong, it's on me to fix it. Not because anyone said it directly, but because at some point it worked. Maybe you grew up reading The Room before you could read books, noticing the shift in someone's tone, the silence after a disagreement, the tension no one named. So you adapted. You became the one who could stabilize things. And now, as an adult, that pattern didn't disappear. It refined itself. You don't just fix problems, you anticipate them. That friend who's about to spiral, you're already crafting the message. That situation that might fall apart, you're already stepping in before it does. Your brain doesn't wait, it intervenes. But here's something most people don't tell you about fixers. You don't just fix things because you care, you fix things because uncertainty feels unbearable. Dr. Stephen Porges, through polyvagal theory, explains that your nervous system is constantly scanning for safety, and unresolved problems, they register as threat. So fixing becomes regulation, control becomes calm. In simple terms, you don't fix everything because you want to. You fix everything because your body relaxes when things are handled. And that's where the line starts to blur, because there's a difference between helping and overfunctioning. Helping says, I can support you. Overfunctioning says, I'll carry this so you don't have to. One builds connection, the other quietly builds resentment. But here's the part we need to stop at, because not all fixing is healthy. There's a version of this that isn't kindness, it's protection. So ask yourself this: are you helping because you genuinely want to, or because you don't feel safe leaving things unresolved? One is generosity, the other is anxiety in disguise. And from the outside, they look identical. This is what psychologist Murray Bowen described as emotional fusion, when your sense of stability becomes tied to other people's emotional state. If they're okay, you're okay. If something's off, you can't relax until it's fixed. So you step in, you solve, you carry. But somewhere in that process, you disappear, because fixing everything means you rarely get to just exist. You're always adjusting, always managing, always scanning, and people praise you for it. They call you dependable, strong, selfless. But psychology sees something else. It sees someone who learned that peace had to be created, not received. That calm was something you built with effort, not something you were given freely. And that's not a flaw. That's a blueprint your younger self drew to survive. But survival has a cost, because when you're always the one fixing everything, you don't get to be the one who's held. You don't get to be the one who says, this isn't mine to carry. So here's the reframe most people never give you. What they call being the fixer isn't just kindness, it's intelligence, pattern recognition, emotional awareness operating at a level most people don't even access. You see what's breaking before it breaks. You feel what's off before it's spoken. That's not weakness, but it's also not something you were meant to do alone. Because there's a difference between helping and holding everything together, between caring and carrying, between being needed and being used. A nervous system that scans for problems, a mind that moves towards chaos instead of away from it, a person who learned to create stability in unstable spaces. That's not a personality quirk, that's an entire way of being human. But you were never meant to fix everything. Some things are not yours, some people are not yours, and peace doesn't come from holding everything together. It comes from knowing what to finally put down. That's not letting things fall apart, that's finally letting yourself rest.